Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar on how can NAPLAN transform you into a successful student. My name is Harshita and I'm part of the team here at Turito. So this webinar is a part of an outreach program by Turito for the students who are looking for a bright future and parents who dream of giving their children the best education. So before we start, let me give a quick overview of the organization. Turito is an innovative e-learning platform with a mission to make quality education accessible to all. Now, Turito is present in the countries USA, Canada, Middle East, India, Singapore, and Australia regions. And programs which we offer here are NAPLAN OC and one-on-one tutoring services for math, science, English in the Australian region. So how we differentiate from other edtech platforms which are currently available in the market. So Turito exclusively gives access to live and interactive one-on-one classes which are personalized to the custom needs of the students. Regular assessments to track the child's progress and doubt clarification sessions whenever needed for making their basics and concepts strong. Also, the parent application makes you part of your child's learning journey. Moreover, we are top 2% certified educators whom we partnered with to envision our mission. So before getting into the specifics, let me offer a quick introduction about our speaker at today's event. So please welcome Mr. Durga Prasad, who is Global Program Head at Turito, over 28 years of teaching experience. Before getting into the session, I request all the parents, if you have any questions during the session, please feel free to type them down in the Q&A section. We shall be answering in the later part of the session. We will now have Mr. Durga Prasad take us through the webinar. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, greetings from my side to all the parents and students, and of course my colleagues also. Yeah, dear parents, of course you all know and you're aware that this NAPLAN is a test conducted only to assess certain things, but this never decides pass and fail of a student in any grade, whether it may be 3rd or 5th or 7th or 9th grades, because this is conducted for those 4 grades. So now the question is, why a student need to take NAPLAN when it does not decide pass or fail for any of the classes? So simple thing is like this NAPLAN test also includes the same syllabus which is there for the regular curriculum. Syllabus and curriculum, I mean syllabus is not different from the regular curriculum, syllabus of the regular curriculum. So if a child is preparing for NAPLAN, that means other side they are also working on with the regular curriculum also of grade 3, grade 5, grade 7 and grade 9. So now how this NAPLAN helps? See, one is like in students' perspective and other in terms of schools' perspective and government's perspective. The Ministry of Education in Australia has designed certain academic programs, certain curriculum for different grades with certain intentions. So the government would like to assess whether the purpose with which the curriculum has been designed, is it really serving the purpose or not? Whether students are able to cope up or they are facing any problems, whether there is a need to change anything in the curriculum, etc., etc. All these things need to be gauged. So therefore, Government of Australia would like every child of each school to take this test and give them an impression whether the curriculum is going good with the thoughts they have prepared it or not. If it needs any changes or improvements, they do that. Otherwise, they don't go for it, unless it's a periodical once in every 12 years, they go for reviving of the curriculum. So that is periodical reviving. That's a separate thing. But in between, if they want to change, they would assess and then go for any changes as per the suggestions or with the performances. Now, in terms of schools perspective, most of the schools in Australia are government funded, and therefore each school would like to perform, participate fully, and perform well in those tests through their students, and then show the government that the funds that they are being given with are used properly, and they need more funds to further do better in the curriculum, and they'll be wishing their students to take part and as well score well in this test. Now, coming to students' perspective, there are certain private schools in Australia which are highly ranked or rated, and good students would like to pursue their education there, and this becomes one of the academic credits. They don't give any seats based on this test scores and all, but this becomes one of the academic credit for that school to assess this child. So if NAPLAN test is taken and they have high scores, then that will become one academic credit, and this will be helpful for the child. But the major part for the student is student can develop conceptual depth of the subjects that they are supposed to learn. So though they are supposed to learn maths, sciences, English, social studies, languages, etc., the main development of academics or curriculum can be developed with the conceptual depth of the child in English language and mathematical calculations, or logical reasoning that can be developed with the mathematics. So therefore, if a child is logically sound, they can also do sciences, they can understand sciences well, they can learn, they can perform, everything can happen. They also can learn social studies and other languages easily because they have analytical skills. Instead of by-hearting, they have analytical skills. They can read, understand, learn, and perform. These all things can happen once the child has logical reasoning. And for all these things, language is essential. Without language, nothing can be understood by the child. Therefore, language plays important role. Therefore, English is included. So if these two are tested, and of course, mathematics, numeracy, and for higher grades, whether it is with calculator or without calculator, they would be expecting to develop a conceptual depth in the child. And in English, not only language, reading, writing, speaking, listening skills and all, but also narrative skills. One would like to understand how well a child is able to narrate about themselves, or narrate about something that is happening around them, or narrate about something what they are observing, etc., etc. For all these things, they need certain skills. So in students' perspective, most of the kids will be learning subjects to score marks. Dear parent, I'm specifically mentioning most of the students learn subjects to perform in the exam and score marks. And sorry to state, if I'm speaking anything wrong, please excuse me, but I have to state my observations. Many parents also gauge the learning strengths of child with the marks they score. So I differ with this thought, dear parents and students. I believe in a different philosophy. A student has conceptual depth, and child has certain skills that need to be there in the child. Whether they score or not, they have subject within themselves, and these are very important for the child to grow. So therefore, I always give weightage for conceptual growth in the child, not simply by hearting or learning something to produce marks. And government's policy is also same. They have not designed this curriculum to make child by heart something, score something, and project themselves as highest scorers and has nothing in the brain. Not like that. So therefore, this NAPLAN, while preparing for NAPLAN, we would wish students to develop conceptual depth rather than just learning something and performing and scoring marks. So now, for all these things, of course, Many students talk about the syllabus, curriculum, the pattern of question papers. Can you go back once, the pattern of question paper? One more slide. Yeah. So this is the pattern of question paper. So what I observe is whenever I talk to parents or students, they talk about the pattern of question paper, the type of questions they asked, and previous year solved papers, then material only to cover the syllabus, little extra syllabus, they get worried. They point out that this is higher than what is required. These all we don't need, because I always see mails pushed to me from parents as well, from some of the faculty members who train, because they are put with the questions by the parents that why are you teaching when this is not there. And sometimes certain things may be there in the exam and we may try to ignore because that part might have been covered in some other chapter or elsewhere. So why I'm telling all these examples is everyone looks at the syllabus and what is being taught and how much things that will be asked in the exam, and they limit themselves to that. So I believe strongly this is wrong method of teaching learning process, and we need to develop skill and conceptual depth among the child. So therefore, just looking at syllabus, paper patterns, type of questions asked, and only limiting themselves to the level of questions that are being asked, all these things does not help them. So basic strength will be in developing skill and concept in the child, which he or she can apply and grow. When we talk about concept, it has a lot of meaning in it, dear parents and students. Conceptual development is not simple. If we can develop concept, whatever may be the twisting you do in the questions, child will be able to answer it because they have concept in them and they have skill to correlate all the things that they have in their mind and what is being asked, and they'll be able to perform well. So most of the parents look at the marks. So I'm also talking about scoring of marks, but not in the way one others looks at. I'm looking at something else. I'll talk about few points which a child need to do to score full. Can you go to that what to do slide? Next 3-4 slides maybe. Yeah, this is what. See, here are certain points which I would be discussing. So I want every parent and child to spend on all these things. First is use your time wisely. When I talk about this, there are many students who find it difficult to cope up with regular curriculum and anything like this conceptual depth. When I talk about NAPLAN, I'm not, as it is also including same syllabus of grade 3, grade 5, grade 7 and grade 9. I'm not talking about teaching just syllabus and making a child to score in the exam. I'm talking about conceptual development in the child and skill development. So a child need to use their time wisely, planning everything well in advance and using the time according to the plan, and then involved in the teaching learning process and practices. Now, when I talk about this, I don't know how many Indian students and parents are now in the meeting and Australian students and parents are in the meeting, but I always prescribe students to go for meditation. Every day, half an hour meditation helps a child to develop concentration and focus on what they are doing, and this will make child to understand everything that they are trying to read in one attempt and remember them for long and perform well. When they understand, learn, print them in the brain and have skill and have concept, then scoring in examination will never be a problem. Such children can score 100%. And I always prefer, see, when I talk about all these things, parents, some of the parents will be questioning me, sir, like if we have to do NAPLAN, we have to do school curriculum, they have projects, they have assignments, everything, then won't there be any time for physical activities? No, dear parents, a child has to go for physical activities compulsorily for 1 hour every day. Eat good food. Many parents are more choosy about diet and all. I suggest parents to give complete food, whatever a child would like to have. No calorific counts and nothing, because a growing child needs a lot of protein, fats, etc., vitamins, everything. So I suggest every parent to give their kids everything that they want to eat. Don't limit any child from eating anything. Eat well, let them be very healthy, and let them keep themselves fit with the necessary exercises. Eat, burn calories, then keep themselves fit and all. So this is very, very important. So every day I suggest child to work on NAPLAN maths for 1 hour. When I say NAPLAN math, children, I'm talking about conceptual development, not trying to solve questions that are there in the practice sessions. And English reading for 1 hour. When I talk about English reading, I'm not talking about the passages that are given in our content that you'll find in our portal, but I'm talking about external reading apart from these material that is being given in our content, Turito portal. Apart from that, I want children to read journals, monthly journals, weekly journals, and etc., so that they gain the system or skill of reading, understanding the concepts, and using them when answering some questions. And apart from the writing part, vocabulary is very, very important. Half an hour practice for this. As all these are regular curriculum patterns only conceptual depth and skill development. This will be helpful for regular academics also. So there should be no problem at all for a child to learn. Now, when I talk about reading 1 hour, it could be a social studies lesson. The regular school curriculum, let them read that lesson, let them understand, let them put questions to themselves, let them answer instead of teacher supporting or parent supporting, etc. Like this, we'll talk when in detail of how we use this 1.5 hour time. But I'm giving you some suggestions. So these all need to be done. Next slide, please. Yeah. And whenever a student learns, they are bound to get doubts. A student, if he or she says, no, I don't have any doubt, then definitely they are not involving in learning process or listening process. So definitely once a student listens to a teacher and tries to learn them, definitely they get doubts. Once they get doubts, without hesitation, they need to get their doubts clarified, revise maths and English uh, in a month, about 8 hours, we can say. Like that timetables and all, they tell you. Once you enroll for Turito program, then they'll give you all the timetables, how it is 8 hours per month, and all these things they'll discuss. Then go for practice tests, which most of the students avoid taking tests stating that I have some program in the school or some assignments in the school, etc. They tell so many reasons and they avoid tests. My sincere suggestion to all the students is to take as many tests as possible. And I want parents to encourage students to take as many tests, because none of the tests they take in any practice session is to gauge how much knowledge they have, but it is to gauge how much they understood and how much they need to improve, which are their weaker zones, which are their stronger zones, to understand these things and make necessary improvements. So I want every student to take every test possible or extra test possible, and then involve themselves in conceptual development. Focus while learning is going on. Concentrate while learning is going on. Don't by heart anything. Understand everything and keep them in your brain. Every mathematical formula should be on your fingertips, means you need to learn them. I'm not telling by hearting, but learn them. There is a lot of difference between learning and by hearting. Learning is something different I'm trying to explain, which parents can understand what I'm trying to do. And while learning, don't go for a by hearting method or reading from book and trying to understand. Develop certain techniques of how to learn, understand subjects, and put them in your brain, print them in your brain, and so on. So there are techniques which will be helping the students when the program goes on. So next slide, please. While preparing, stay focused. Of course, when I talk about stay focusing, it also involves keeping syllabus in mind, parents and students, because if you have some X syllabus, you learn XYZ, then you are wasting time, which is not necessary to be invested at that juncture of time. So investing your time is very important. Don't spend time, but invest your time. This is very, very important. You believe that you are an achiever. Don't think that you are an underdog to anyone. You are an achiever, so you can achieve anything that you wish to, provided you have that confidence. Believe yourselves and then keep going. Automatically, you'll win. So nothing can stop those children. Believe this very strongly. Nothing can stop those people who put effort. Just a minute. So, yeah, sorry. So if you put effort, children believe that nothing can stop you. But only thing is putting effort in right direction is very, very important. So try to answer 5 reading passages in 45 minutes of time. That should be your speed. And even there are, if it is 7th, 9th grades, you have questions with calculator and no calculator. Try to do everything without calculator. And while learning or taking tests, don't brood. Be active, let your brain be sharp and active throughout the time when you are involving in academics. So there are 8 different techniques of answering objective questions. Out of them, if it is reading passages, we generally recommend 3 different techniques which you'll be taught when you are learning at Turito, this one. And if it is mathematics, we generally suggest 4 different techniques of learning questions and answering them. So those all techniques and all will be taught to you when it goes on. Every test, you should ensure that you improve your scoring. That means you're recovering from the errors or deficits of subject you have. And always believe that effort always pays way. So don't hide or shy away from putting effort. So this is very, very important. Now, how Turito can help? These all things will help you score well, dear children. So don't try to just learn by hearting and all. So to do all these things, now the questions arise, when should I start? I'm in grade 2. So should I start next year? NAPLAN is conducted in the month of May. So should I start in January or June? So dear parents, I talked about conceptual development, not teaching some lessons to students as far as NAPLAN is concerned. So even if a child is in grade 2, they can start in grade 2 itself, because if a student tries to listen to the lectures or to the lessons that they need to listen and understand and perform, so they have ample time. If they have deficits, they have ample time to recover instead of rushing up and hurrying everything and only trying to by heart. Instead of that, if child is given enough time, then they'll have sufficient time to learn, understand and learn the things. Therefore, it's always good to start early, maybe grade 2 for grade 3 children, or June itself for grade 3 children, or so on. Now, many parents will ask me, sir, if that is the case, now we are already into November. Is it late if a child is in grade 3 or grade 5 or grade 7 or grade 9? So dear parents, please understand, nothing is late, never. But an extra effort is required if child is having certain problems in learning, understanding and learning. Therefore, it all depends on how much a child can grasp, how quickly he or she can grasp, and how quickly they can learn, and how effectively they can perform without entering into any kind of pressures. So these all things pay a lot of weight. So it's always good to start early. If you have not started early also, no problem, but child need to put extra effort if he or she is facing certain issues. Never call your child as a weak child or something like that. So child can be a slow learner, but no child can be academically weak, dear parents. So never call your kids to be academically weak or dull or nothing of those kinds. Please never use such words towards any of your kids. So Turito will help children in all these terms, including psychological classes on and off through an expert. So we'll be helping to train students psychologically, sometimes one-on-one counselings, one-on-one psychology sessions also we help. And when teaching learning process goes on, students have doubts, we arrange doubt sessions and as well as individual doubt sessions. Also, we grow for small groups, maybe 5 to 6 students per batch, not more than that. We have limited students per batch so that the teacher can focus and develop the concept and skill among the kids. And we have beautiful platform, edtech platform, wherein student has a complete content placed in it, all the tests placed in it. And once a student listens to the lectures, all those lectures recorded while teaching is going on is placed in the portal. A student has some doubt, they can open those lessons in the portal. They can go through, listen, and learn at the pace they can and understand. And if they get doubts, they can ask teachers. We have practice sessions fortnightly. A child can take practice tests. Then if they get doubts, they can get them clarified. And they have grant tests also placed at the end, 5 grant tests at the end of course. So all those grant tests will be followed by paper discussion. And we always focus on conceptual development rather than simply problem solving or question solving. So as concept grows, child has full concepts within themselves. They can easily score in any kind of question that they are asked with. So our process is that, and I already discussed certain points which will help a child score full marks. So let us ensure we implement these things in practice and ensure child develop skill, concept, and as well score marks. Wish all best of luck, children, and any questions you have, I'll be answering them in Q&A. So I'll hand over this to the next follow-up, Harita. Harshita, over to you.
Thank you, sir. It was a very interactive and I would say very informative session for NAPLAN. So I really request all the parents to post their queries if they have any in the Q&A section, as I could not see any questions over there. I would request all the parents again. So if you have any questions related to program, curricular, syllabus, about the classes, how we are conducting it, so you can please post your queries in the Q&A section. Meanwhile, I would really love to explain the dashboard, that what features we have for our students. So we have a student dashboard with some key metrics for continuous updates. As you can see on the screen, it's a dashboard for students where they can track their performances, tests, reports, they can give quizzes and see the performance and progress over time. If you are taking enrollment for different subjects, you can check your performance here. This is the report for progress analytics, that whatever quizzes or exams you have given in Turito dashboard, you can see the track. And this is the insights into student progress for continual improvement in learning. You can check the attendance of the student. This is the progress summary for overall classes, how much time student is giving in the classes, what is the performance, how much is he improving. This is the subject-wise progress. Again, you can see different performances, test-wise and summary, recently taken tests, recently learned concepts you can check. And this is a very important feature, I believe, because here you can check the strengths and weaknesses of the students so that in the next classes, teacher could also focus on the weaknesses and can give some improvement in that. And on the basis of performances and strength weaknesses, the recommendations are also there from our experts. This is one of the example of the test, that how the test looks like and how the child is going to give the exams here. So I would request all the parents to post their queries in Q&A section. I could see some questions here. Where and how your classes run? So before answering any of the questions, I would like to introduce our program manager, Mr. Pavan Prakash, and he's going to answer queries related to the program. Over to you, Pavan.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Harshada. Hello, everybody. My name is Pavan Prakash, and I'm the product manager here. So the question which has been asked, that where and how your classes are being run. So Turito is completely an online platform, and I think Mr. Durga has explained a lot about the classes, the content, as well as the unique aspects of the program itself, the customization and the flexibility also. So I believe a lot of things has already been covered, but the only thing is that it's a completely an online based platform. How many days of classes are there? So uh, we are kind of a running an offer basically. So it's an offer where if you are enrolling within the 48 hours time limit, then there are certain aspects that are related with it. So individually, after this particular webinar tomorrow, not today because it's quite late already there. So tomorrow, individually, from our team, there are various counselors who are going to get in touch with you, and they're going to explain you about all the aspects and the features of the program personally. Any peculiar doubt, even the smallest doubt, if you have, you can have a conversation with them, and they will answer you accordingly as per the request that you have. Can we know how many classes for month and fee, please? So the sessions that we are going to have is more like a group sessions, and there are multiple batches on multiple timings based upon how soon you are going to enroll. You will going to have a benefit in terms of choosing your batches, as well as a kind of a flexibility that can be provided, which will definitely be explained tomorrow with the person from our team who's going to call. You can have a conversation with them and they will just explain you for the same. Uh, in terms of charges, so if you are enrolling with us within the time period of 48 hours, there's a flat 30% discount that we are going to give, and any other referral that you are going to bring, not people who are already part of the webinar, but apart from the webinar, if you're bringing anybody and referring them and they're enrolling with us, then there is a 50 AUD flat discount with respect to the program that will be provided. Other details will definitely be explained by the counselor itself, who's going to get in touch with you tomorrow. Any question, any doubt, even about the curriculum or the program, or if you want to know more about the program itself, they will give you a glimpse of it, as well as they will explain you about it. Hope that answers those questions.
Thank you, Pavan, for the information. I would request the parents to post any queries if they have related to curriculum, syllabus. We can wait for next 5 more minutes. I believe there are 2 more questions. How NAPLAN helps in future career? So I believe sir can answer this. Over to you, sir. Mr. Durga Prasad. Sir, can you hear me? Pawan, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, Pawan, you can take the next question. Please post the fee and schedule.
Okay, as I told you, once again, I'm reiterating myself with respect to the program that we have a kind of an offer.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, there is one question like how NAPLAN helps in future career. I'll answer that. First, you answer first, then I'll take over that.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So as I was telling you that it's a kind of a group session that we have. And in terms of the classes that we have is more like inclined towards like a 40 classes session from 3rd to 5th grade. And for the 7th standard, we have like a 58 class session that will be like a group session, and more exclusive details will definitely be told to you tomorrow itself on an individual call. The counselors who are going to get in touch with you, and they'll explain you about everything. And they will also provide you the insights as well as the details that you really require in terms of the program, the NAPLAN program itself. Yeah, Mr. Durga, you can continue with the same question.
Yeah, I'll take on 2 questions, Harshita. Like one question is like how this NAPLAN will be helpful for future and how do you teach each syllabus? Yeah, dear parent, one thing is like NAPLAN is something which is conducted to develop concepts and skill. So when child is developing concepts and skills, they develop certain skills within themselves, which will help them learn on their own, analyze things. It also develops analytical skills and logical reasoning skills with which a child can score very easily in future, even when it is like after completing their 9th grade, like it could be colleges or universities or degrees or anywhere, they'll be able to answer the things, understand the subject well, learn it easily, and answer the questions. So this way it will be helpful for students for future in a lot of way, like it could be any grade in future to come and any subject it could be. And now how do we teach means like we pick the same syllabus which is there for that grade which the child is applying for, and we develop the skill and concept among the children related to that syllabus or something connected to the syllabus which will help child in learning process, so that we do not go way away from the regular syllabus of their regular schooling which they need to learn with, but at the same time we will not focus only on answering questions by learning subject by any means, but we make the child understand the concept and develop the skill to analyze and logically reason out the syllabus that is given and the subject that is there and answer the question. So this is the way we teach and also help the child in the same process.
Thank you, sir. So there's one more question. If we compare NAPLAN with Kumon, what is the difference between these two?
Yeah, that is altogether a different subject. So we'll discuss that later on, Harshita. We'll have one-on-one meeting with that parent.
Okay. There's one more question. Can you choose what subject you want to do in NAPLAN?
No, we can't choose anything. They have subjects fixed, English and mathematics, and syllabus also fixed. So we should move around the same. We cannot choose the subjects.
Thank you, sir. So again, I would request all the parents, if you have any more questions related to the program, curriculum and syllabus, you can please post your questions in Q&A section. We can wait for more next 2 minutes for any more questions. I believe there's one more question. Does NAPLAN teach the same syllabus that is taught in school?
Yes, yes. For that grade, it's same syllabus. That means grade 3 child will work on same grade 3 syllabus only. Grade 5 child will work on grade 5 syllabus, and so on. So syllabus is same, but patterns, thought process, and all these are different. We mainly focus on concept development and skill development. This will help them perform very well in their schooling also, schooling syllabus also.
There's one more question. Do all schools do NAPLAN?
Yes, yes. It is compulsory for all the schools in Australia. They compulsorily do NAPLAN in every school. Every school does it. And for all students, they wish every student to take. They don't pass or fail with that, but they ask every student take. If some student misses, they'll conduct a separate test for that once again in the month of December, and they submit the scores through their own analysis.
So there's a question from one parent that what is the fee for third grade student? So
Yeah,
as said by the program manager, the fees will be discussed with you. Our sales manager is going to call you like tomorrow because it's too late now. So definitely you'll get a call from Turito by tomorrow. So definitely they'll give you the pricing. And there's a question that will there be one-on-one session as well? I believe Mr. Pavan can answer this.
Yes, we do have one-on-one sessions, but just there are two perspectives with that. Now, there is one perspective just because NAPLAN is in March. Most of the people will definitely want to have a kind of a rigorous training towards the examination itself. So a group session is compatible for few of them, but there are definitely one-on-one live classes that are available also, and the customization feature in terms of catering the need of the child, or if the child is lacking in any of the topic or subject, in that case, that is a complete possibility which can be provided. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, thank you, Pavan. So there's a question, does NAPLAN help for future scholarships for admission in university?
Yeah, actually, this NAPLAN test will never help any student to get any scholarships. This is only assessment test. This is not a scholarship test. But the subject, the concept and skill developed in the child will make child perform well in any of the scholarship kind of exams that are being conducted in future. And that will help a child to get scholarship. So this will help for those scholarship exams because we develop concept and skill. So definitely when a child has developed concept, skill, analytical, logical reasoning skills, and all, definitely they'll be able to do well in future for all the scholarship tests. So that will help them get good scholarships.
Okay, thank you, sir. And there's a question, do we need to purchase reading or exercise materials while the online session is conducted? Like, do they need to purchase anything, any material?
No, they don't need to purchase anything. Everything is available in the portal. Whatever is available in the portal, child is entitled to use all of them because all of them are included in the package.
Okay. And there's one more question. How many practice tests are provided with regard to previous years?
There are 15 previous year solved papers that are there, and the child can practice all those. Apart from the fortnightly tests, if we conduct fortnightly tests here, and after that we conduct 5 grand tests. Apart from that, we have 15 previous year solved question papers also. Child can practice all of them.
Okay, thank you, sir. How different is this program from Kumon or any
This
other?
is totally
like
deviated question, so we'll
Yeah.
talk to the parents separately.
Yes, definitely. Parents, Selija, we can connect with you. Parents can pose their questions more if they have any for next 2 more minutes. I request the program manager, Mr. Pawan, to please explain the discount and referral benefit to the parents again.
Yeah. So in terms of the discount that we are talking about, if the enrollment happens within the 48 hours after the webinar itself, then there is a flat 30% discount that will be provided. Plus, there is a referral bonus or a referral bonus incentive that is there. If you are referring somebody who is not a part of this webinar right now, you will get a flat 50 AUD discount with respect to the price of the program itself. And that will definitely be explained to you in tomorrow's call with either the counselor or maybe the me myself. I'll be calling you and having a brief discussion about the same. The other aspect of the program is definitely that both the parties are getting the benefits. So even if you are referring somebody, they also get the benefit and you also get the benefit at the same time.
So there's a question for the program manager, I believe, that if we refer the friend and she doesn't join, still we get the benefit or no?
No, the enrollment has to happen, and in that way only the benefit can be availed.
We can wait for next 2 minutes. If any of the parent has any questions, you can please post. So we have one more question here. Do you have ongoing tuition classes apart from NAPLAN preparation?
Yeah, we have one-on-one coachings, then OCs, then individual subjects, different formats we have, and world over exams. We have all kinds of coaching.
Parents can pose their questions for the last 2 minutes. So there's a question, can you invite as many people as you want? I believe the question is not clear. Invitation, we really want to know, like invitation for the classes or for the webinar? So there's one more question. Does your program give the 100% result in NAPLAN test done in schools?
Yeah, I would like to answer this question. I don't know what exactly parent wants to say by 100%. Does they mean to say syllabus completion or scoring of marks or concept development and all, skill development and all? Dear parent, I have been talking about the same till now. We will develop the concept and the skill and logical reasoning and analytical skills. This is our job. Once these are done, child will automatically score marks. So if you ask me, like, if we teach to an extent where child scores 100% of marks, uh, it all depends on students work also, not just our coaching and our teaching learning process. A lot depends on all the factors, many factors, not one or two factors. So unless we diagnose the child, we understand the child, we cannot comment on that question as the parent has asked.
Thank you, sir. And there's one more question. Can you invite as many people you want to the classes?
6 students per batch. We don't take more. So if more students come, we'll put second, third, fourth batches like that.
We can wait for 1 more minute for the parents to question. If they have any queries, they can post it. So I think we are good for now and we'll be ending the session now. But before that, I believe there's one more question that I was told there would be E students per class. I think there's a typing mistake from the parent. If you can please correct the number here instead of E. So there is a question, what is the duration of classes as kids come from school and are already tired? Mr. Pavan, if you can answer this, what is the duration of classes, and if kid is coming from the school and very tired, how they are going to manage for the classes?
Yeah, for sure. So as I told that there is a full possibility of the customization itself in the beginning itself. There are multiple batches that we are running on, various time slots. So whatever time that suits you, you can pick that slot and you can have your classes in that way. The second thing is that the 60 minutes is actually the class, but it also completely depends upon that the topics that are being kept during the classes itself. There are cases where the class can extend for like 10 to 15 minutes. There are cases that, if topic is over early, then the class can end. So there are multiple possibilities that can have, but 60 minutes is the duration of the time itself.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Pavan. So I believe there's one more question. How many days a week?
As I told that there are multiple batches. So there will be batches who will be having like a thrice a week. There will be batches like a once a week kind of thing, 4 times a week also. Depending upon your requirement, your preference and your need, you can just pick up the slot. For that, a person from our team itself is going to have a conversation with you tomorrow. They are going to give you a ring so you can have a more detailed understanding towards the program itself, and they will also give you more insight towards the time slots, timing, also the prices. Everything will be told by them to you tomorrow itself.
Thank you, Mr. Pavan. So thank you, everyone. I believe if any of the parent has any queries, that will be answered on call tomorrow, as we are going to give you a call tomorrow and you can ask whatever queries you have related to the fee structure, curriculum, syllabus, about the classes structure. So I think we are good for now and we'll be ending the session now. Thank you for joining us. If you would like to know more about Turito, visit our website www.turito.com. And if you have any queries, please feel free to reach us at care@turito.com. For a better way of learning, join Turito now. Have a great day. Thank you all.